Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Yesterday I posted a mini look and see really rather than review of my Hermes lipstick and spoke to you a little bit about what I intended to do about posting a little more regularly during this period of lockdown. And I really am determined to try and keep up with that. It was so nice to get some comments from you. Know that you who regularly watch and comment are out there and that you're doing okay in your various ways in this really difficult time. So my plan is to talk, as I said yesterday, first of all, over a couple of days about the makeup products, and they're all old, tried and tested products that I have been enjoying or turning to in the last 3 weeks or so. Because for me it has been 19 or 20 days, 19 I think, since it was lockdown in London and I stopped travelling for work or going out other than for essential shopping or a bit of exercise. So I know many of you all over the world are in a similar position. The rules might be slightly different, what we can and can't do. But essentially it's a big change for most of us. And although I'm lucky enough not to have been touched by the tragedy of anyone close to me being seriously ill from this awful disease, you can't but be aware of the seriousness of the situation around you. So many people's sadness, anxiety, stress, worry, the financial issues that so many of us will have to contend with, even if we're lucky enough not to have health issues to worry about. So we all have those things, and I guess we're all coping in different ways. And talking about makeup isn't really high on the agenda for most of us, I guess, but our interest hasn't wholly gone. I found that mine has kind of waned quite a bit in the current situation. I've been surprised actually how I haven't wanted to wear makeup and how I've been even a little bit careless about my skincare since this situation. I'm surprised because I hadn't associated wearing makeup just with going out to work, although I do wear makeup nearly always when I'm working and it's part of my kind of professional persona. But I always tended to do my face if I was, going out at all. And I suppose the difference is now, apart from making the effort to go out for a walk or something like that, we're not going out to see or be seen by anybody. But I've still been quite surprised that I haven't really felt much motivation to do my makeup at all. But I have been making a bit more effort recently, because although I'm saying, I wear makeup for work, I am still working from home, and some of it involves being seen on Skype or FaceTime or Zoom or whatever. So without wearing the full face, I have been wearing a little bit. And these two products that I'm going to talk about today are the two that I have been turning to, and actually, when I think about it, enjoying. I guess this will not be a surprise to most of you. It's Chanel's Les Beige Eau de Teinte Water Fresh Tint. This was a product you may remember if you saw my kind of first comments about it. I was pretty negative because I felt it didn't really give any coverage at all and I didn't really see the point of it. I quickly changed my point of view when I actually started applying it in the way they tell you to on the website. And I have never encountered a product where the method of application makes such a difference. When I first got it, I was just pumping out a pumpful onto my fingers, and applying it direct with my fingers, kind of dotting it on my face in the way that I would a normal foundation, and smoothing it in because it didn't feel like it needed a brush to smooth it out, and I don't tend to use a sponge. Then I watched the kind of official application video and decided I would pick up this rather sad looking brush that comes with it. You can see I've actually used it a lot now. And what they advise you to do is to pump a pumpful on the back of your hand and then break it up with the brush on your hand. And let's see if we can actually see what happens when you do that. If you do a squirt, you can kind of see this very liquidy, almost colourless, with a bit of kind of colour in it, which are the little spheres of the colour. And when you, can you see that? When you poke it around with your brush, it immediately changes colour, and then on it goes to the face. I don't even need a mirror. And I do find that way it definitely gives a light but fairly visible coverage. The really, really great thing about this product is how it feels. It's so liquidy that it definitely feels cooling, soothing, moisturising. It's fantastic in hot weather, or if you're just feeling kind of a bit under the weather, really. It feels fresh and smooth on the skin. So it's absolutely perfect for those days when you just want a little bit of pulling your face together, if that doesn't sound really strange, evening out tone, looking a bit more put together, a bit more radiant, but most of all feeling nice and moisturised and soothed. I really, really do rate this product now. It's not like anything else I've tried. I'm sure there must be similar products on the market. I'd be interested to hear from any of you if you think there are, but I personally haven't come across anything like this, and I definitely would repurchase. I might go for the darker shade. This is light. They didn't look any different from each other in the bottles to me, and I generally go for the lightest shade of whatever BB or CC cream or anything that doesn't have a lot of different shades, which this doesn't. But I could live with a darker one, I think, so I might try that next time. But I do really like this product, and I think quite a lot of other people looking at YouTubers out there have been impressed with it too. It really is something that's a little bit different and definitely worth having in your arsenal, particularly if you're not into full faces of makeup. Great in lockdown. If you want to give yourself a little treat, you can order it on the website and they will send it to you beautifully packaged. But do apply it in the way I've mentioned. Well, I can't tell you how to apply it. Apply it how you like, but I personally would advise you to give it a go, applying it in that slightly different way, certainly to how I normally apply a foundation, by breaking it up on the back of your hand before you brush it onto your face. The other one that I've been using, I'm not going to say as much about because I'm going to talk in another video about the Trinny London products, because I have been using those a little, is her BFF cream, Skin Perfector SPF 30, which is more like a standard BB cream, I guess. Again, it's slightly odd in that all of the creams come out looking like that, a white, slightly pearlescent cream. I've got them in 2 shades. This is light medium. Again, I think I bought light first of all. Now, this doesn't as obviously change colour, but I think you can there see that rather than being white, there's a slightly tinted, definitely glowy appearance to the cream when you break it down and spread it. It's got a slightly grassy smell, not that dissimilar actually from the Chanel fragrance. Not a huge SPF, but you know, SPF 30 is better than this one. I forgot to mention the disadvantage with Les Beige is no SPF whatsoever. So if you are going out, and we're not going out a lot at the moment, let's face it, you do need some SPF in addition to Les Beige. And that's a bit tricky because I find if I put the SPF on underneath, the watery consistency feels a bit odd and can make the SPF pile up a little bit. But digressing there, this one does have an SPF 30. It's just a really nice no makeup base. And when I show the other Trinny London products, I have talked about them before, with it you can kind of conceal the areas that you feel need a bit more coverage. So, and I should say that this one feels really nice and moisturising and comforting to the skin as well. So those have been the two face products that I've been turning to, and my usual much heavier coverage foundation, my favourite Tom Ford's, my other Chanel products, my Galan, my Dior's, The Ordinaries, all those that I usually turn to have just been sitting unused in the drawer at the moment. So I'd be interested to know if any of the rest of you are finding you are completely changing the makeup that you're wearing something very different. I've got a few other things that have been giving me pleasure, consolation in these difficult times that I will talk about in the next few days. But until then, bye for now.